Peace and love. Peace and love. Welcome. Welcome. Let's get it. So, we're going to do a quick build before we go pick up our food that we order. Peace and love to everybody joining. Peace and love to the goddesses. Peace and love, Paula. Peace and love to the goddess Ivory. Right. Still waiting on my DM, but you feel me? I'm patient. So, I'm trying to set up this iPad. I'm using this iPad instead of an iPhone today, so we're going to see how well this shit does. So, I want to get into van life, and I want to break down the budgeting for van life, right? And I want to show y'all how, it's not going to be a very long live today, you know what I mean? I might be back on later today, but I wanted to spend about 10-15 minutes real quick going over the different budgeting for van life, right? And I'm going to show you how working from an $8 an hour job all the way up to a $16 an hour job, how many hours you would need to work, how many hours you would need to work to live comfortably, to save a lot of money. Facts. Yeah, it's coming through. It's coming through. And it's on the way. It's on the way. You feel me? We just gonna take some time to sleep over it. Nah. We ain't doing it that style. You feel me? We doing it like a way different style. We got it? Bet we got it. Right? So, we ain't doing it carbonation style. Like, we're doing it the organic way. We're doing it the natural way. You know, we ain't doing it the GMO way. You know, the artificial way. So, I'm gonna go over the budgeting, right? And I think that this is important. I think that once people see how much money that they can actually be saving when it comes to collecting resource, right? It's sacrificing a year and a half to 2 years living in a van life, right? Which is just becoming a little bit of a minimalist, right? It don't mean that you're going completely sell all your stuff, living in a tent out in nature and shit like that. Like, you got some niggas really like telling niggas to go out in nature in the middle of a motherfucking city. Like there's niggas right now in New York in the middle of the motherfucking park, out in tents and shit, like living out in the motherfucking city park and shit like that. Like, they got an acre and a half worth of motherfucking park in the middle of a motherfucking whole Manhattan, you feel me? And you got niggas staying out in tents and shit like that, you feel me? So, that shit crazy, right? But, we're gonna be talking about doing it the natural and the organic way, right? So, I'm gonna go pull out a whiteboard, you feel me? I'm gonna pull out a whiteboard. And it's crazy, like, think about it from that perspective. Like, you got niggas that really claiming they out in nature, on Instagram flexing like they out in nature, you know, but they just in a mile radius park in the middle of New York, you feel me? It's claiming they in tune with nature, claiming they living out in nature and shit like that. Bro, but if they don't get the fuck out of here, you feel me? Like with that bullshit, but like, we gonna really talk some real shit, you feel me? Like, we gonna really talk some real shit, like an actual pathway that can help you save enough resource to do whatever you want to do in life, right? So, a lot of us have a lot of dreams. A lot of us are awakening to this new information. A lot of us are tapping in to this new knowledge, and we're discovering our own personal power. We're discovering how much power we actually have when it comes to bending and wielding this reality around us, to forming it into something that we can see as a heaven-like state, or something that we can see as our reality and what we want to manifest, right? So, we're now discovering this power. I notice a lot of us, we want to travel, we want to become financially comfortable, we want to buy land, we want to go live in tune with the jungle, we want to do these different things, but we're missing the point. It takes money, it takes resource, it takes dollar, it takes coin, you know what I mean? And I'm not talking about, you know, obviously you can, go live off somebody else's land, you know, you can go live off somebody else's van and shit like that for free and mooch and, you know what I mean, do like that. But when it talks to actually owning your own stuff, doing your own things, and really it's collecting your own resource, you know, a lot of us don't know what to do. You feel me? And I've seen a lot of people out here trying to do real estate schemes, do Forex, do Lord knows how much shit, you feel me, when it comes to investing your money in something, you know. And my thing is, I want you to invest your money in you feel me? I'm not up here trying to sell you a get-rich-quick scheme. I'm not up here trying to sell you a real estate scheme. I'm not up here trying to tell you that. I'm trying to show y'all a pathway that we're going to take, that I'm going to take, to show you how much resource and revenue y'all can generate within a year. And that maybe some of y'all will be inspired to discipline yourselves and to become disciplined for a year and live this lifestyle, just so you can save $20,000, $30,000 to $40,000 within a year, depending on your job and how you do it. You feel me? So I want to go over from $8 an hour all the way to $15 an hour, and I want to explain how many hours working 30 to 40 hours a week, how much you would make, right, and how much it would cost to live in a van, and we're going to budget out the money for all these different jobs, okay? And then we're going to do one person, two people, three people, and we're going to do four people, right? And how much money you can save within these different people within a van, right? So for you pre-van lifers out there, if you're having these goals of traveling, if you feel the universe is calling you to travel, explore, if you want to do it in a safe environment to where you can still like carry a bit of your home with you, to where you don't got to be staying in hotels, you don't got to be staying in airports and motels. You can bring a little piece of you part, like along the road, and you can have a place to like feel like home in, but also feel safe and comfortable in as well. So this might be the route, for you. And if it's not for you, just free feel, just to think about it. Just we could all save money. We could all use more money. Like, let's just be real. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of y'all aren't gonna turn down $100,000 if it's given to you as a donation or a gift, and you don't got to sell your soul or nothing. You know what I mean? So we could all use more money. We could all use like more resource. So let's break this shit down. You feel me? So we're gonna start, right? One person, right? Two persons, right? And three persons, okay? And we're gonna break down, right? If you and your homeboys wanted to is link in a van and get a trailer together, y'all can have three of y'all homeboys together, all working different jobs for a year and cultivating y'all money up to where y'all can save $40,000-$50,000 and then go drop $25,000 on some land. You feel me? And then go be up chilling and spend the rest of the money using as resource to build your land. You know what I mean? So as we're gonna break down all this stuff, right? There's a reason to why I went vegan. There's a reason to why, you know what I mean, I do the things that I do. I went vegan to be healthy, to live healthier, to have healthier thoughts, to help my immune system, to help my stutter, right? To think better, to help the animals, to help the planet. Is when I began studying a lot of Albert Einstein, Tesla, these intelligent people, and what they ate. When I began studying our African ancestors in Kemet, in Mayan, in Zimbabwe, in Timbuktu, in Mali, right? And you study what they ate. They studied the remains and what they ate. They were vegetarians and vegans as well. You know what I mean? So I do everything for a purpose. So the reason why I'm doing van life is not just to, yes, it's to have fun, it's to live that experience, but it's a safe way to save massive amounts of resource, money, while also living comfortably, while also, right, having enough time to discover trades about yourself, discover skills about yourself, develop your own business, and you'll have more time to spend out in nature. This is a bridge that basically, if you're tired of living in these apartments, these houses, if you're tired of living in these cities, if you're tired of all these, like positive ions interfering with your brain waves, these 5G towers, and all these frequencies and devices that are causing you to have anxiety, that causes you to have clouded mind and everything like that. If you want a break from all that, like, this is a way to actually to ease your way in, from one environment, one lifestyle into another lifestyle, and I use the example as in, before we get into the math, is you standing outside in 20-degree weather, right? Your hands freeze up, your toes freeze up, right? You forgot to wear gloves and double pair of socks, right? So your toes are cold, your fingers are frozen, solid, right? So you step inside and you think that, it's turning the hot water on, right? And putting your feet in hot water is going to fix that issue, the coldness. But you actually find out that it burns even hotter than the actual water itself, because it's reacting to that cold environment. In the same way, right? After you put your feet and your hands in there, your hands are burning, you want to put it in cold water, and you don't realize your hands freeze even colder than the water, right? So like, this is what happens when you take things from one environment and immediately switch it to another, right? So you have so many people that are leaving the States and going back home, leaving the States and going back to a holistic, lifestyle, but didn't prepare for it, So they didn't prepare for it, so when they're living the lifestyle, it's going to take a minute for it to set up if you didn't prepare for it, If you spend your time here, as you save up the money and collecting resource, slowly preparing yourself, getting yourself mentally prepared, emotionally prepared, spiritually and physically prepared when it comes to not having so many things, becoming a minimalist, is understanding that, the more knowledge you have, right? And this is what Bobby Hemmett said, right? And this is something that I hold dear to my heart. He says, full house, empty mind. So, like, basically, like, he explains that people need all these different things within their home to distract them because they don't have anything up here to keep them entertained in their mind. You know, like they don't have anything of substance to think about. Like they're not thinking about the people that are living in the hood. They're not thinking about nothing else but themselves. You know what I mean? So he always said, full house, a house full of things means a person has an empty mind, right? Empty house means full mind, right? And that's something that I hold dear in my heart. And I have definitely has experienced that, like especially coming from a European background. My aunt and uncle are well off, so I definitely understand like when he says that, right? So let's go break down these numbers, right? Because that's what we're here, real quick, right? We got $8 an hour, right? So let's say you work 40 hours a week, right? At $8 an hour, how much are you gonna get? Hey, baby, get my phone. Because we're gonna do it on a calculator. We're not gonna use the brain power on this, you know, like on this stuff right now. Right, so let's go ahead and bring a calculator out. So 8 times 40 hours a week is $320, right? A week. Weekly, right? So $320 weekly, okay? So now, let's times that by 4. Right? So you times that by 4, right? You get 1280, right? Facts, taxes as well, right? Exactly. So let's just say minus 200 for taxes, right? Like let's just say, right? We know that that's a lot, but let's just say, okay? So we leave with this, okay? And that's how much money one person working at $8 an hour, 40 hours a week, has a monthly income of, okay? So now, let's look at van expenses real quick, right? So we're talking about van life. What are the expenses that you would need within van life? If you have any suggestions, like let me know in the comments, right? Yes, right? Insurance, right? Food, right? So these are the 4 main expenses when living in van life, right? Obviously, you want a cell phone just in case your van breaks down in the middle of nowhere. You can have a cell phone to keep you entertained, to make calls, to get a tow truck, right? So that's like a must. Well, obviously, yeah. Well, like obviously you'll need that, but we're not accounting that when it comes to these budgets, right? Like we're just doing a minimum surface level budgeting, right? Obviously, like I hope that you'll have that stuff prior to living in a van, so you can just like move that over from your house to your van. You know what I mean? Right? So let's say gas, right? So let's say you're spending anywhere between $150 a month to $300 in gas, right? Now, gym for shower, exactly, right? Which we'll get into that later on, right? Insurance, right? Depending on how old you are and your driving record, right? It can be anywhere between $50 and let's say $250, right? Food, right? For me, like I wanna, like I'm working on gaining weight, right? I've already got enough knowledge for right now. I'm working on gaining weight and fixing my body, right? So I want to get thick, and my queen wants to get thick as well. So obviously more than this, right? But we're probably gonna be near the $300 range, right? So cell phone, right? Say 50. Okay. So now, right? Gas, right? I think that, and I already budget out, like, is we're gonna stay in maybe about 2 or 3 miles away from the beach, right? So we're gonna be barely using gas. That we would be using for commuting and getting to work and things like that, right? So for the gas for the van, we only think that we maybe spend $200 max, right, for us. Insurance, right? I'm thinking anywhere between 150 tops, right? And that's the maximum, right? And that's for liability, right? Food, we're going to go ahead and do the 300, right? Because we want to spend the max on food, right? Because we want to eat good while we're in the van as well, right? So let's add the 50, right? So let's add this up. So we got what? Right? And if I wanted to add me and my goddess, right? is we can make that 100. So let's go ahead and make that 100 for phone bills. Right? Let's make that 100. So it's going to be 750. Right? So that's will be your total expenses. Right? Exactly. Like you're like exactly, but my queens don't want to do truck stops. They want to do like 24-hour fitness. So while we work out, we can get a workout in before we go to sleep, shower, and then head to the vans and head to our spot. You know what I mean? So the 24-hour fitness is what we're going to be doing when it comes to showering, bathrooms, and things like that as well, along with Walmarts and things like that. So like we're going to kind of stay out of like porta potties and shit like that. So that's where we're going. So $750 would be our main expenses when it comes to van life, right? So now minus 750, right? So this is $8 an hour, right? Minus taxes, right? Which I think we took too much out of taxes, right? But let's just do the maximum for that, right? So $1,080 minus 750 will leave you with what? 330. So you just working an $8 an hour job, 40 hours a week, right, can save up to $330, right, if you're disciplined, a month. Times that by a year, right? So we times that by 12, right? So $339, I don't know why I did that. So 330 times 12 is 396. Like we in tune. That's for one person. So by the end of 1 year, right, if you're by yourself, right, you can save working an $8 an hour job, 40 hours in a week, right, Monday through Friday, 52 weeks, like in a year, right? You can save $3,000 by the end of 1 year doing van life, right? If you want to do 2 years, you times that by 2. So in 2 years, you can have almost $8,000 within 2 years of living van life. That's just by yourself with one person at $8 an hour, right? So that's the lowest of minimum wage that we're probably going, right? If you're in California, Arizona, these higher areas, New York, right, the minimum wage is a lot higher, right? So this is definitely going to increase for you, right? So this is just $8 an hour, and that's just one person. Now imagine if you had 2 people working $8 an hour jobs, right? Just to find a quick, easy job in the city real quick. You know what I mean? So like what I mean by that is, right, is let's say, for example, right, Ivory gets her van, right? So she wants to spend 3 months traveling. Like that's how much money she saved up to travel for, right? So let's say about 2.5 months, right, she sees her monthly kind of dwindling down and she's making plans, okay? Now, right, the easiest thing to do would be just find the quickest job first, right? And then once you work that job for a month and a half, then get you enough time to look for something better. You know what I mean? So she could easily find a job for $8 an hour. Working at a like a realtor place, working as a secretary, working as a cashier. Just easy jobs that you can pick up off the street like that. So you don't need to go into planning, into all this stuff to manifest an opportunity. You can just walk into a place that says they're hiring and get a job like that at a fast food restaurant and have some sort of income coming in to keep you sustained within a new city. You feel me? So it's just about sacrificing your pride and understanding that you might have to spend a month and a half grinding it at a fast food or a retail place until you can find enough time to actually go out and look and put out a resume for a better job opportunity, right? So if you had 2 people, so let's say Ivory and like she had a king, right, decided to invest in a van together and do van life, right? Obviously, they would make about $2,160, right, minus $750, right? So $2,000. Right, minus $750. So they would be saving almost $1,400 a month. You times that by 12. Right? Damn. That's crazy as hell, right? That's crazy as hell. Hold on. I'll make sure I'm doing this right. So if both partners work $8 an hour, 40 hours a week, right? One person would make about $1,080. Okay? So imagine 2 people making that, right? So that is what, right? 1,080 times 2 is 2,160. Okay? Now, that's how much that as a unit you and your partner would be bringing in together as in one van. working an $8 an hour job. That's the lowest of the low minimum wage. You feel me? So you divide that by 750. Now you're at 1410, right? Now times that 1410 by 12. At the end of 1 year, if you and your partner were working $8 an hour, 40 hours a week, staying disciplined to your vegan recipes, to your food, staying mind focused, at the end of 1 year, you could have $16,920 between you and your partner. Now, if y'all wanted to stop, now one of y'all can be put through school and not have to take out loans. Right? Now one of y'all can go to a trade school. Y'all can start your own business with that. Y'all can go drop 10K for 3 acres in Hawaii right now. So which way are we going to be able to generate resource to do the things that we want to do, to become financially free, to become, to buy land, to buy businesses, right? This is just the beginning, right? We have to go pick up our food that we order. You feel me? So I'm going to come back after we pick up our food, and we're going to go through $9 an hour, $10 an hour, $11 an hour, 12, 13, 14, all the way up to 15, and we're going to expand this out to 2 people, and if you were into a polygamous or throuple couple, right, you can spend it out to 3 people, right? So if 2 people working $8 an hour can save $16,000, right? Imagine if 3 people were working jobs, right? Just real quick. Right, that's $3,240, right? That 3 people in one van could be making working at $8 an hour, 40 hours a week, right? Minus $750 leaves you with $2,390, right? That all 3 of y'all could have saved in y'all savings account every month, right? Times that by 12. With 3 people in one van, right? Working $8 an hour, 40 hours a week, right? For an entire year, 12 months, you would save $28,680. How many of y'all have even had that much money at one time in y'all's life? How many of y'all's parents have even have that much money saved right now? I doubt they do. So we're we're talking a glitch in the system to bypass, right, this shit. You feel me? So we're gonna put a pause in that. I laid out the numbers so y'all have your own calculators that y'all can go calculate this shit yourself. We're going to come back in about 20 to 30 minutes, right? Stay tuned because we're going to come back in 20 to 30 minutes and we're going to go $9 an hour, $10 an hour, $11, $12, and we're going to show you how much money you can save working these different jobs, right? And living a van lifestyle, right? So peace and love, right? Shout out to Van Life 2020, right? 2022 is we're going to be back, right?